Hello, welcome to Abnormal Distribution. My name is Lilly, and today we will be talking about derangements. A derangement is a permutation of a set where no element appears in its original position. Simply, it's a rearrangement of elements in a sequence where no element occupies its original position. Now we'll look at an example. Here we have the original set ABC and its derangement BCA and CAB. These are its only two derangements. And we could see that in its original, A is in position 1, B is in position 2, and C is in position 3. And in its derangement, A is no longer in position 1, B is no longer in position 2, and C is no longer in position 3. Now let's move on to our next example. That's a bit more complex. Alex has a set of 5 stuffed animals, a bunny, a cat, a turtle, a rat, and a bear. Her little sister decided to play with them and randomly place them back on her shelf. Alex wants to rearrange the stuffed animals in a way that none of them end up in its original position. How many ways can she rearrange them to achieve this? Well, here we're given the formula for derangements, and n is the number of elements. If you're confused by this notation of n choose n, please refer to this formula down here. And from our problem, we know that our n is going to equal 5 because of the 5 stuffed animals. And now we're just going to sub into our formula. So here we're going to have 5 factorial and 5 choose 1 times 4 factorial plus 5 choose 2 times 3 factorial minus 5 choose 3 times 2 factorial plus 5 choose 4 times 1 factorial, and finally minus 5 choose 5 times 0 factorial. And we're just going to simplify this even further. So this is just 120 minus 5 times 4 factorial plus 10 times 3 factorial minus 10 times 2 factorial plus 5 times 1 factorial minus 1 times 0 factorial. And once we plug this into a calculator or do it by hand, we could see that we have 44 ways that we could rearrange Alex's stuffed animals back on her shelf without them being in their original position, or otherwise we could say we have 44 derangements. Now stepping back and looking at this, we see that it's still a lot of work, and it will kind of be inhumane to have someone do this for a larger number of sets. Let's just say one of 100 elements or 1,000 elements. That would be a lot of work, and again, wrong for someone to do. It's just too much. So we're just going to find a way to make the equation much more manageable. So first, we're just going to expand and simplify this small section of it. As you can see, it goes up to n choose 3 and n choose n, which is the end. And we're just going to quickly expand it, so there'll be not n factorial over n factorial times n minus 1 factorial over 1 factorial times n minus 1 factorial. And I'll just do this for the rest real quick. And finally the tail, which is plus or minus. It depends if n is odd or even. And now we're just going to further simplify it by crossing out the top and bottom for these 3. And we're going to further simplify this. And since we don't know if it ends as positive or negative, we're just going to have this be negative 1 to the power of n times n factorial over n factorial. And now we're going to further simplify by factoring out an n factorial from each. And now here inside of the parentheses, we're going to use an identity law and see that this has the identity of 1 over e. We're going to combine that with the n factorial, and our new formula is n factorial over e, and this formula will give us the number of derangements of a set. If you were to use this with the previous problem, substituting 5 for n and rounding to the nearest whole number, you'll see that we would get 44 ways. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy our other videos.